Okay, Olivia, I'm going to bring you through some of these problems, so please get out the paper and follow along. Number one, Brianna practices piano. It's supposed to say 30 minutes a day, and the D is the number of days. So write an expression for the number of hours she practices in D days. It would be 30, pen doesn't work, 30 times D. That's how many hours she practices. Oh, that's minutes, so you've got to change it to hours. So it's actually 1/2 of an hour, right? In a day. That's fine. How many hours will she practice in 4 days? It would be 1/2 times 4 is D, and that equals 2. So in 4 days she'll do 2 hours. Thanks. All right, number 2, list 2 ways to write these in words. I mean, he had this on your list that you're going to have to say these things. And this would be like F, you would just write F divided by 3. And the second way to write it would be 1/3 of F. 8 times X, that's what you would write. It would be 8 times X. And you could also do it backwards, X times 8. I think that's right. All right, here's a problem. You probably will have a word problem on there. It says, an internet company charges $9.95 per month for 20 hours of use, and 50 cents for each additional hour. Write an expression for H hours of use in 1 month. So, the expression would be, it costs you $9.95 each month, and then for every hour over 20, it would be 50 cents, right? So 0.5 times the hours minus 20. And you just have to think about that in your mind. If you did 40 hours, it would cost you $9.95, and then 40 minus 20 is how much you went over 20 hours, and each of those cost 50 cents. So it would be 50 cents times 40 minus 20, which is equal to 20. So you do it. How much is charged for 35 hours? That plus that times 35. 35 minus 15 equals 20. No, yeah, that's right. Oh no, wait. 35 minus 20 is 15. So 15 times 0.5 plus $9.95, and that's, you get the answer with your calculator. You just have to think it out. All right, solve for each equation. You did a few of them, but not all of them, so we'll do this one here. Obviously, minus 8, you want A on one side, so you add 5.2, and that's 13.2. This one, D plus 1/4, so you got a minus 1/4. Well, I like to change it so everything has the same number on the bottom. So 1/4, 2 is equal to 8/4, right? So let's change that to 8/4. 8/4 equals D plus 1/4. And so D minus 1/4 is, you put it over there, and it's D equals 7/4. And that's the same as 1 3/4, so if you have to do that. You did that one right, let's do this one. 4 2/3 equals R minus 1/3. So you can change that into thirds if you want. 4 times 3 is 12, that's 14/3. So you have 14/3 equals R minus 1/3. You add a third there, so you add it there, it'd be 15/3 equals R. And so R equals 5, because 3 goes into there, 5 goes into there. There's page 1. Here is page 2. Write an equation and then solve it. Okay, so you didn't do that. The sum of 5 and a number is 6. You solved it, but you didn't write the equation. So the sum of 5 and a number equals 6. And then x equals 1, because he wants you to write out an equation. 2 less than a number is -5. So 2 less than a number, so the number is x, plus 2 equals negative 5. And so you add 2, and that actually becomes negative 3. So x is negative 3. All right. This angle is complementary. Write an equation to find x, then solve. A complementary angle is 90 degrees. You know that. So basically the equation is x plus 63 equals 90. So you minus 63 and it's 27. So x equals 27. Solve this. You didn't solve it, so I'll help you solve it. We need to make these bottom numbers the same. So 12 looks like it matches. So you'd have to multiply this by 3 over 3. So it would be x plus 21 over 12 equals, you need to multiply this times 4 to make it 12. So 12, and then that would be 8. So x equals, it's 8 minus 21 twelfths, right? So that would be negative 13 twelfths, which also equals negative 1 and a 12th. So you just have to change the fractions to the same thing, and then it becomes easy. So solve these happy problems. You did that right. You did that right. You did that right. You did that correct. You didn't do this one. So in order to do that one, you have to change it to all the same thing. So there's a 3 and a 5, just to make them 15. So it would be negative 12 over 15, right? Times p equals, and you're going to make that 15, so it's 5, so it's 10 over 15. Now, remember, you need to divide this side by the same thing. And when you divide, so you end up with this fraction problem. 10 over 15 divided by negative 12 over 15. If you remember, in fractions, when you divide something, you actually just take this one and flip it, and then you can multiply. So it would be 10 over 15 times 15 over negative 12. And then you just go, that's 150 over whatever that is, and it's negative. So it equals negative 150 over whatever 12 times 15 is. This is 150 plus 30, it's 180. I think. That's your answer, 15/18. 3 goes into that 5 times, 3 goes into that 6 times, so it's negative 5/6. Remember that? That step there is the important one. You know that you have to divide by this to get rid of it, so you flip it and multiply over there. Okay, this one's easy. The perimeter of a square is 36. Write an equation to find the length of each side, then solve it. It may be on the test, so don't tell me it's not. A perimeter is when you add all sides of the square, and it adds up to 36. Well, you know a square, all the sides are equal, so if you put an x anywhere, they're all x. So you know that 4 times x, or x plus x plus x plus x, equals 36. So x equals 9. Okay? Make sense? Gotcha. All right, you did that one right. So there's 2 pages. I'm going to start a new video for the next pages.